Hello, everyone. Welcome to Literary Gladiators. This is another individual video by your one and only Charlie. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year, and it's Black History Month. So Josh said to me, he's like, Charlie, what do you want to do for your individual? I cannot talk. I'm sorry. Josh said to me, what do you want to do for your individual videos? And one of them I said I want to touch on Black History Month. And there's so many people there I could choose from, so I just literally, I went right to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And why, you ask? Well, this man, along with other great people, but this man here has done a lot for humanity. And when I say a lot, I mean that's general, but he has done so much for humanity. So has Rosa Parks, and Malcolm X, and so many other countless leaders. I actually, two books. These are children's books, and the publishers are Dorling, Kindersley. I'm probably butchering it. DK, and with these, I would always recommend these to people who I work with, and the children. When I work with the kids, I would always pull one of these as opposed to something like, something from that you can't even read or anything, but. DK books are really good, and they also have the newer ones have the level 1, 2, 3, 4, how to, the proficiency where your child should be at where reading. And this is also a National Geographic. I also push this one. This is directed toward kids as well. You can even scan your iPhone or your smartphone or your whatever phone. I have a dumb phone. You can scan it on here, and I guess that gives you more information. And, here it does the same thing. So I think they're in competition with each other. But either way, I like this one better out of both of them. I'm going to talk about, this one in general. But both of these books are, they touch on the subject of what Dr. Martin Luther King did. And they are, they are definitely appropriate for children who are, I would say maybe, level 3 here. They're saying is a level 3 in their eyes is a fluent reader. So to me that would be 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, maybe pushing 5th. And this is level 4 and by DK. Again, both of these books are terrific. Yes, they were children's books, but like I said, I work with children a lot of the time, and I said I have to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King. It's because of him, and like I said, so many others, but I chose him specifically. We hear his name the most during Black History Month. He has done so much for humanity. And the way he did it, it was peaceful. He didn't go out there and didn't, he would do peace talks. I think in this book it said he gave over 2,500 speeches. And there's actual photos of people being segregated on the bus with the blacks. And I don't mean that in a discriminatory way, with the colored people in the back, and the whites in the front. And here you have a sign, which really, this aggravates me. This is aggravating. This man here, he's just simply doing his job. He's screwing a sign on the bus saying where people need to be seated accordingly to those laws back then. I don't know what year these photos were taken, and Dr. Martin Luther King was actually a minister, like his father. He was a church leader, and, he had a pretty good childhood. He had born in 1929, Atlanta, Georgia, so right down in the Southern Bible Belt. And he had once these laws started coming in, which to me they're not laws, they're just, it's stupid, it's segregation. When those laws came into place, he would find out he couldn't sit with his friends on the bus, he couldn't play with certain people, and that pissed them off, and it rightly so with me too. If I was told I couldn't hang out with Josh anymore because I'm too clumsy, that would upset me, and I know I'm rambling, I apologize. he has done so much just by giving those talks, those speeches, his sermons. He would give out sermons. First chapter here, Black in a White World. It's just a, and of course we all know what happened. He was assassinated in 1968. There's also other photos here of other people. Elvis Presley is in here, the king of rock and roll. And Elvis Presley made his first recording in Memphis, so there's a lot of this was taking place in Memphis. They're demanding equal pay, because some people of color were being paid less than people who were white or Caucasian. And here he is talking to an Alabama sheriff about something that he says he thinks is wrong. Here's Malcolm X, who was more of kind of a forceful leader. He changed his name, and Josh told me this. He changed his last name to X, which I didn't. I mean, I know he changed his last name, but I didn't know why he chose X. So thank you, Josh. He didn't want to be affiliated with anything, so he just went with X. And I'm just these are books I would push in the classroom, even if I'm subbing or when I'm at the library working with kids, tutoring, whatnot. So give them a good look. I would recommend them. I would also recommend there's so many others. I can't just have Dr. Martin Luther King. You got Rosa Parks. You've got it slips me now, but there's so many. And I will try and leave a link of other influential people of that time who did so much for people like us. Dr. Martin Luther King, one of his quotes was, of course, I have a dream. And when I was a kid and the first time I heard that, I was like, what was he dreaming about? And of course, but one of them here was, one of the quotes was, and this also has a timeline in here, in 1968, I think it was, no, I'm sorry, 1963. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Something I should have memorized, and here he is a colorized photo in Washington. I spoke to some people who were there, because, when you're in a Scottish band, anything is possible. But someone, an old-timer, he's like, yeah, I was there, it was a hot, I'm not going to quote him, but he said it was a very hot day, we were all PO'd, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to use this somewhere along the line, and he's like, I don't care, so. And he told me he didn't like what he was hearing, but it opened up his mind in a way. He's like, yeah, he makes sense. So other than that, this is Charlie. I salute all of those who have stood up for humanity, and no matter what color of your skin, I don't care what color you are, don't judge people, okay? Judge food. Judge food instead, all right? And as Josh would say, this has been another episode of Literary Gladiators. For now, keep reading.